Diddy will be sued, and I say will be because nothing has been filed yet, by at least 120 people in the next 30 days. So
those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff.
The buzz around Shig Diddy has reached a fever pitch as rumors spread about the music mogul's potential release from prison. The internet is ablaze with speculation, insider leaks, and theories about the surprising twist. Could Diddy, one of entertainment's most influential figures, really walk free? After months of shocking allegations, lawsuits, and an indictment that shook his empire, this unexpected development has everyone talking. Let's delve into the whispers, alleged legal loopholes, and explosive claims fueling the speculation and captivating the public's attention.
Monitoring another push to free Sean Diddy Combs tonight, with his legal team citing new evidence in an updated bail proposal. The music mogul agreeing to around-the-clock security and cutting out contact with basically anyone but his legal team to get out of jail ahead of his trial scheduled for May of next year for charges he allegedly coerced and abused women for years.
Word on the street is that Diddy's legal team may have uncovered a way to dismantle the FBI's case against him, or at least weaken it enough to secure his potential release. According to insiders, the defense is focusing on allegations of gross misconduct during the investigation, particularly a controversial raid on Diddy's jail cell. This wasn't just any raid. Federal agents allegedly seized confidential materials protected under attorney-client privilege. If true, this could be a significant misstep that might invalidate key evidence. Diddy's lawyers are arguing that the breach wasn't a minor technicality, it was a deliberate act meant to undermine his defense. And here's the bombshell: they claim to have proof. Reportedly, on the second morning of the raid, a high-level meeting took place involving federal officials, including prosecutors from the Southern District of New York. During this meeting, it's alleged these prosecutors directly authorized the targeted search of Diddy's cell at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. While authorities claimed the raid was for prison safety, Diddy's legal team insists it was a fishing expedition designed to gather information to strengthen the prosecution's case. In their view, this wasn't about justice, but about tipping the scales unfairly. Adding to the controversy, Diddy's attorneys accuse investigators of eavesdropping on his private conversations with his legal team, a move they argue is not only unethical but also illegal. If these allegations are proven, the implications could be staggering. Evidence obtained through questionable methods might be thrown out, and the integrity of the entire investigation could come into question. For Diddy, this could represent the lifeline he needs as he continues to fight to clear his name and salvage his empire.
Called this afternoon at the courthouse in Lower Manhattan, the judge ordering the prosecution to turn over its findings from a jail cell raid, Diddy's jail cell, just yesterday. What were the contents of those raids?
Well, apparently, according to the defense, their legal documents, the government's saying no, on the contrary, they're just some handwritten notes and a calendar.
The drama surrounding Diddy doesn't end with his potential release. Rumors suggest he might have a bold plan in place, and it's nothing anyone expected. Sources speculate that if granted bail, Diddy could attempt to flee the country. While it sounds wild given the high stakes he's facing, it's not entirely outside the realm of possibility. Online debates have exploded, with fans and critics speculating where he might go. Some believe he could retreat to an island or a country without an extradition treaty with the US, while others think he might disappear into the shadows, using his immense wealth and connections to live off the grid. Though just rumors, the idea has added another layer of intrigue to an already sensational story. Meanwhile, Diddy's legal team is going all in to secure his release. They've reportedly filed a motion arguing that conditions at the Metropolitan Detention Center are so dire they amount to a violation of his rights. The facility, infamous for overcrowding and understaffing, has been described as hell on earth by former inmates and legal experts. Diddy's lawyers have highlighted incidents of violence and neglect, including cases where inmates suffered serious injuries or worse due to inadequate supervision. They're painting a grim picture of a dangerous and inhumane environment, arguing that keeping Diddy there while he awaits trial is not only unjust but potentially life-threatening. These claims, combined with the swirling rumors, make Diddy's case one of the most gripping legal sagas in recent memory.
I understand that he has a shrink coming by his cell to see him several times a day. And now there's talk about putting him in, it's like a bubble. It's like a cell that has like a plexiglass wall in it where they have inmates watching you. That's actually their job. to keep an eye on the inmates that are on watch.
Diddy's legal team is also working to reshape public perception of the man at the center of this storm. They're highlighting his legacy as a music icon, philanthropist, and self-made entrepreneur who spent decades building an empire. In their narrative, Diddy isn't the villain portrayed in court documents and media reports, but a flawed human being who's been unfairly targeted. It's a calculated effort to sway public opinion and soften the impact of the allegations against him. Not everyone is convinced. Critics argue that Diddy's legal troubles are a direct result of his own actions and view his team's attempts to deflect blame onto authorities as a desperate bid to avoid accountability. Yet, even among skeptics, the accusations of federal misconduct are raising eyebrows. If agents truly bent the rules to secure a conviction, it raises uncomfortable questions about the fairness of the justice system. The case is now as much about Diddy's actions as it is about the integrity of the system pursuing him.
I came here today just to tell the truth, so hopefully we can get down to the bottom of this. I'm 100%, the charges against me are 100% false, and hopefully due to time, we'll start to see that.
As the debate surrounding should Diddy rages on, one thing is certain, this case is far from over. Even if Diddy is released, he faces a mountain of legal challenges, including multiple lawsuits and an upcoming trial that promises to be one of the most high-profile courtroom battles in recent memory. For now, all eyes are on the possibility of his release and the pressing questions it raises. Will he walk out of prison only to face an even tougher fight in court? Or will he take matters into his own hands and disappear, leaving the legal system scrambling in his wake? This story continues to grow more complex, and if there's one takeaway from the chaos so far, it's that nothing about this case is predictable. Could this mark the beginning of a dramatic comeback for one of music's biggest stars, or the prelude to an even bigger scandal? As the saying goes, truth is often stranger than fiction, and in Diddy's case, it seems stranger than anyone could have imagined. The controversies surrounding Diddy are far from over, and the possibility of his release doesn't change the fact that he's facing what may be the most intense legal battle of his life. The allegations against him are staggering not just for their severity, but because they paint a picture of a man whose glamorous public persona allegedly masked years of troubling behavior. But how did things reach this boiling point, and what exactly is Diddy doing to fight back? Diddy's troubles began long before his recent arrest. The first domino fell in November 2023, when singer and model Cassie Ventura, Diddy's former partner of over a decade, filed a lawsuit that sent shockwaves through the industry. Cassie's claims were graphic and heartbreaking, detailing years of physical and emotional mistreatment. She described a toxic relationship where she allegedly endured relentless harm, coercion, and manipulation. What made her allegations even more shocking were claims about so-called pride events that Diddy orchestrated, allegedly elaborate and disturbing situations she was forced into as part of a pattern of control and intimidation. This lawsuit was the catalyst for Diddy's legal downfall, setting off a series of lawsuits and criminal investigations that now threaten to dismantle his once unshakable empire.
In her civil lawsuit, Cassie said that she was the victim of abuse, assault, and at the hands of Diddy.
The lawsuit filed by Cassie Ventura included jaw-dropping claims, one of the most talked about being that Diddy deliberately targeted anyone who threatened his control. One major allegation was that he destroyed a car belonging to rapper Kid Cudi as a warning after Cudi showed interest in Cassie. According to Cassie, Diddy orchestrated the car's destruction when Cudi refused to back off, sending a message to anyone daring to challenge him. Although Diddy denied the allegations and maintained his innocence, the case was settled within a day of being filed, leaving many questioning whether there was more to the story than the public would ever know. But Cassie's case was just the beginning. In the weeks that followed, a wave of lawsuits from other women came crashing down on Diddy, each one revealing troubling patterns of behavior spanning decades. A college student from 1991 accused Diddy of recording and sharing their encounter without her consent. Another anonymous woman claimed she was manipulated into a similar situation. Then Lisa Gardner came forward, describing violent and terrifying incidents from when she was a teenager in the 90s. Despite these mounting accusations, Diddy's legal team dismissed the lawsuits as attempts to profit from his fame. However, the sheer number of similar stories raised serious concerns, painting a troubling picture of his alleged actions.
A woman is accusing Sean Diddy Combs of her when she was 16 years old in 2000.
By December 2023, the allegations against Diddy took an even darker turn when a woman identified only as Jane Doe filed claims that she'd have been manipulated into inappropriate actions while underage. She described being given substances and left in a state where she could barely remember what happened. Her harrowing account added a disturbing layer to the growing legal storm. Around the same time, more cases emerged, including one from an adult film star who alleged she was invited to Diddy's lavish parties under false pretenses, only to find herself in situations she never agreed to. These lawsuits came in rapid succession, and the growing list of accusations began overshadowing Diddy's legacy as a music mogul and entrepreneur. By February 2024, the situation escalated further when Rodney Jones Jr., a music producer who had worked with Diddy on his latest album, came forward with his own lawsuit. His claims were different from the others, describing unwanted advances and attempts to pressure him into uncomfortable actions. Jones alleged that Diddy used his power and influence to try to groom him. Diddy's lawyer dismissed these claims as pure fiction, but Jones insisted his experiences were real and that he was speaking out to expose the truth. This lawsuit revealed that the accusations weren't just coming from women, they were emerging from all areas of Diddy's personal and professional life.
To the latest on the arrest of Sean Diddy Combs, this one has so many people talking, the disgraced music mogul facing federal racketeering, conspiracy, and trafficking charges. Both the prosecution and defense teams are set to discuss the next phase of action following the indictment as investigators work to determine potential co-conspirators. But how exactly did we get?
As the lawsuits continued to pile up, Diddy's defense team began to push back aggressively. In May 2024, they faced a significant blow when CCTV footage from 2016 surfaced, showing an incident between Diddy and Cassie at a Los Angeles hotel. The video, released by a major news outlet, appeared to show Diddy shoving Cassie to the ground and kicking her while she was down. Though grainy, the footage was unmistakable, sparking a swift and intense public reaction. Diddy responded by issuing a statement, expressing disgust with himself and calling the incident a low point in his life. However, for many, the damage was done. The video seemed to validate some of the claims Cassie had made in her lawsuit and intensify public outrage. By the summer of 2024, Diddy's legal troubles reached a tipping point. More lawsuits followed, including one from Crystal McKinney, a former model and actress who claimed she had been taken advantage of in a New York City recording studio. Her allegations were graphic and detailed, adding another voice to the growing list of accusers. Around the same time, a former member of Diddy's girl group Danity Kane, Dawn Richard, filed her own lawsuit accusing him of inappropriate behavior during her time in the group and with Diddy's later project, Diddy Dirty Money. Her claims included verbal mistreatment, overwork, and unwanted advances, painting a troubling picture of an artist who felt trapped and powerless under Diddy's control.
But like I said, the entertainment industry is very, very, very messed up when it comes to, the bigger you get, the more you had to do to get there. And so if you're not willing to put yourself in that position, you kind of have to put your foot down. And so I didn't.
What truly set the stage for Diddy's current predicament was the grand jury indictment in September 2024. After months of investigations, federal prosecutors laid out their case against the music mogul, charging him with a range of serious crimes. The indictment described a highly organized system where Diddy allegedly used his power and resources to manipulate, intimidate, and control those around him. The accusations were shocking, including claims of coercion, bribery, and even attempts to silence witnesses with cash offers. Diddy was taken into custody shortly after the indictment was announced, and his bail was denied, leaving him to await trial behind bars. Despite the mountain of allegations, Diddy has maintained his innocence from the start. His lawyer has portrayed him as a family man and philanthropist who has spent decades building an empire and giving back to his community. They argue that the lawsuits and criminal charges are part of a coordinated effort to destroy his reputation and profit off his wealth. In a bold move, Diddy's legal team filed a $50 million defamation lawsuit against one of the witnesses in his case, Courtney Burgess, and her lawyer, Ariel Mitchell. The lawsuit accuses them of fabricating wild claims about alleged recordings involving Diddy and other high-profile figures. Diddy's lawyers argue that these falsehoods have not only damaged his reputation but also poisoned the jury pool, making it nearly impossible for him to receive a fair trial.
Diddy is now suing. So according to our friends over at Us Magazine, Diddy, who remains in the Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center while he awaits trial. Us Weekly writes this. It says Sean Diddy Combs has filed a defamation lawsuit against one of his accusers, their attorney, and News Nation.
As Diddy's trial approaches, the stakes couldn't be higher. If found guilty, he could face a lifetime in prison. But his legal team is pushing back fiercely, challenging the evidence, questioning the motives of his accusers, and attempting to reshape the narrative around a man once considered a pioneer in the music industry. Whether or not Diddy can clear his name remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: this case has already become one of the most talked about scandals in recent memory. It's a story of power, privilege, and the lengths someone will go to protect their legacy. With so many unanswered questions, the world will be watching closely as the next chapter unfolds.
So yesterday, Monday, Diddy celebrated his 55th birthday, but this year was a lot different. It was no Diddy parties. It was none of that. None of that stuff. Well, happily so, I guess, right now. But anyway, so this is his first birthday behind bars.
As the saga of Diddy continues to unfold, the questions surrounding his potential release and the legal battles ahead remain as intriguing as ever. Can his legal team dismantle the case, or are these just desperate efforts to avoid accountability? If released, will Diddy flee the country or stay to fight for his name? The debate is far from over, and your opinions matter more than ever. Share your thoughts in the comments below. The conversation is just getting started. Until next time, stay tuned for more updates on this evolving story. Don't forget to subscribe to Celeb Journey.